Hello, this is a tutorial on the importance of matching focal length, especially when a character runs off in the distance, as I do here. So first I'll talk about the setting up of the green screen here. Whenever you have this extreme expanse where you've got the figure in the foreground, you don't have enough green screen. One common misconception is that you're going to have a gigantic green screen in order to cover this figure. If you had one, yeah, that would be great, but usually you don't. So basically, you just fly in what is commonly known as a header. This is just a piece of green paper that's just enough to cover my head here. I kind of miss out there, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And we miss here. It'd be better if there was another hanging bit of fabric here that as I run forward, it covers my head in the beginning of the run, like here, but then I quickly would just move underneath that piece of green paper or cloth and then be clear of it. So that'd be the proper way to set this up. But in this case, this did not happen. So let's take a look and see when I've got matching focal lengths for both this foreground shot and the background shot. I've already done the green screen pull, and I'll give it here. I haven't done any garbage matting here, but you'll see that when I run backward, I shrink the proper amount so that as I get to the door, I'm going to be in a few more footsteps. So I'll be the right size for the door. But the problem is, I didn't have green behind here. So one thing that I would do is like, well, okay, if that's the case, then what I'm going to do is just scale my foreground up, right? So I'll make it a little bit larger and I'll change the position a little bit. And then I'm still in the foreground and I get rid of all the missing green screen. And then it'll work, right? Well, the problem is it works up here, but when I run backward, I'm a giant. So I'm much bigger, especially if I move the uh, position over. You can see that I'm just like way too big. So that's the big problem if you don't match the foreground and background and you have a actor running across the z-axis here. So let's try to compensate for that by changing the scale of the background. If I do that and move its position about, now it kind of works. So that's an examination of why it's so important to get those focal lengths to match exactly. If we open this up a little bit, you can sort of see that the frames of the two foreground and background are almost identical now. So I basically just scaled everything up so it would match. But that's an example of why it's very, very important to use the same focal length for both the foreground and the background, particularly when you've got a character running from the foreground to the background. And that's how that was done.